Someone said this is the normal speed, okay? This will be the normal speed version with memory. Here's memory 1, memory 2, memory 3.
เบอร์2เบอร์3เบอร์1จอดกอง
It can also be switched to manual. This is manual front.
นี่แมนนวลด้านหน้า
This is manual rear. And this one is manual for all 4 wheels.
ลองเป็นเบอร์3เลยอ่ะ
Let's try memory 3 now. Look, it's steady now. Memory 1 is about like this. For the memory part, it's really easy to press. This unit can also control the air compressor.
ปั๊มลมได้
The air compressor is inside here.
ขึ้นลงเป็น
The air system is automatic.
ติดนะ AIRSUS
AIRSUS by Vanshop. Let's review the underside of the vehicle with the non-cut, non-notched AIRSUS system, starting from the rear. This is a standard kit offered by the shop, as opposed to the premium version. This setup doesn't include sway bars, unlike some others. The airbag brackets here are the straight type, since there's no rear disc brake to avoid. Shock absorbers aren't included in the set. In this case, the customer upgraded to adjustable shocks due to excessive bouncing with the OEM ones. The leaf spring bracket is original, but with a special adapter that shifts. The mounting point to avoid contact with the airbag. One side needed this due to the airbag and shock position. The other didn't. The adapter is a single piece, bolted in with the original Toyota nuts with no welding required. We avoided using a long bolt because it puts load stress in the wrong place. Our adapter design distributes the force like OEM, using proper collars and retaining structure. It's plug and play and removable by simply unscrewing. This design helps reduce failure points and is stronger under the force of airbags and shocks. It's a one-piece forged part, not joined or extended. Feel free to use this idea for your own builds. As for the bracket, select. It's also custom-made and extended to fit different lowering block lengths. Normally, you would need a different bracket length for each drop, but this long bracket accommodates various setups safely and efficiently. This setup was custom-made at the factory after the sale. The stud was made longer to fit precisely, especially for air suspension setups. Even a 1 to 2 millimeter difference in airbag placement affects everything, so we use a long stud that allows for easy fitment changes using just the spacer without switching out the entire bracket. This particular bracket has a wider offset to avoid contact with the chassis crossmember. It's designed at an angle for clearance. This custom bracket is made by Vanshop. It also uses a wedge for angle adjustment. For this low-roof Hiace, the rear axle is a single-piece drive shaft with only 2 universal joints. When it flexes, it does so all at once. Unlike the commuter version that uses a 2-piece shaft with a center bearing, therefore adjusting the angle is more critical. Without adjusting it, the shaft would tilt up and produce whining sounds during acceleration and deceleration. Over time, this would damage the gearbox and seals. Fixing the noise without correcting the root cause won't work. Regarding the air system, this setup hasn't been cut or modified. It uses a soft air hose that goes upward. Being a standard set, it uses non-hydraulic grade soft hose. More cost-effective but with limited lifespan. Replacement at intervals is recommended. On top is the upper plate and the air outlet is positioned at the top, unlike some previous models with bottom outlets. Each vehicle may need a different leaf spring design and shaping for proper airbag setup. Mechanics assess each case individually. The bottom plate here uses a hard spacer for load distribution. Left and right sides are symmetric. In this case, the customer had an exhaust modification, so the pipe may need adjustment. The front uses a hydraulic system, and the rear is air suspension. The rear airbag system can be removed or installed without cutting or modifying the car. The upper plate rests on the chassis, usually with no issues, and can be removed easily if needed. So, in this build, front, hydraulic, rear, airbag. The front air system is hydraulic. The hydraulic pump is located here and installed in a low roof. Hiace. Space is very limited on this side, so the pump was designed to be mounted here. If you've been under the car, you'd recognize this is the front, and the fuel tank is on the opposite side, making the pump sit right in the center. This design makes it easy to access the switch and connect the pump. In the premium model, the same system is hidden under the driver's seat, completely concealed. But this setup is a standard surface mount system, visible and easy to maintain. It's cheaper and simpler to service, though it may require lifting the van to access everything, which is a trade-off. This system uses plug-and-play waterproof sockets. The wiring from the control unit to the pump is already done. You just plug in a single connector. For service, simply unplug and remove 2 air lines. The sensor plug for system adjustments is also located here, making servicing quick and simple. The pump can be removed easily by unscrewing 2 bolts. Everything is straightforward. Even non-specialists can uninstall and reinstall it. The connectors are model-specific, so there's no risk of incorrect wiring. The air tank is located above this point, and the control unit is mounted nearby. It rests under the vehicle, unlike some systems that mount the actuator inside the cabin, offering more insulation. It all depends on customer preference. A standard air compressor is mounted nearby. It operates reasonably well, but is louder than premium US-made compressors. The standard one is commonly used in local setups. This van also uses the factory torsion bar. Some people ask if it must be removed, but in this case, it isn't. The spring system works with both the torsion bar and air suspension to absorb, impact, and reduce noise, providing a smoother ride. There's also a sub-tank mounted on both sides with visible brackets. The hydraulic lines run cleanly to the cylinder. The cylinder hasn't been cut or modified. It uses the same mount as a regular shock absorber base. The mounting base here is the same as a standard shock mount, so it can use the original shock bracket. If you're tired of the setup or want to remove it to sell the vehicle, you can easily uninstall it. Nothing is permanently modified on the car. From the outside, it looks just like a regular shock absorber, but inside, it's a hydraulic system. This vehicle doesn't have an upgraded sway bar. It uses all standard components, standard ball joints, standard sway bar. Nothing was changed except for the lift system, which uses a hydraulic and airbag setup. Everything else remains factory, so we refer to this as a standard kit. There is also a travel limiter added as a precaution, because the hydraulic system lifts the car higher, and we need to prevent it from going too far. However, the memory controller can still manage the height with precision. This is what the underside looks like. A surface-mounted standard setup where all components are mounted underneath the car. The advantage is lower cost and easier access for maintenance. The components are different from the premium version. In the premium version, the brackets are larger, shaped differently, and use high-end hydraulic lines like Yokohama or Bitzone, imported brands. Those premium lines last longer and are mounted higher in the vehicle, hidden from view. If the car breaks down, the mechanic can access everything from above. No need to crawl underneath. The air tank and accessories are also premium, and the pump is quieter and faster because it's made in the USA. The actuator is also mounted higher. The cylinder is slightly different in the internal rubber and installation method, but overall it fits the system's function. Each vehicle requires a slightly different approach to installation. For example, this setup supports the leaf spring. There are options for air suspension rear only, hydraulic front plus leaf rear, full hydraulic, full air, or even hybrid leaf air systems. Low-roof vans like this one often have rear airbag and front hydraulic setups. High-roof models tend to use a front torsion bar and rear airbags. At Vanshop, we offer every configuration. Whatever fits your needs and budget, just contact us. Our team will guide you to the best choice.